Joe Houston is our pilot this week. Joe,
How you doing, Doug?
I got to say, I believe you're the best bush pilot I've ever flown with. I mean that sincerely.
That's
Great job.
That's what they all say.
How long have you been doing it?
I've been flying up here for 19 years now.
You're the only person that I know that's had a grizzly attack and survived. Actually, the only person I know that's ever been attacked by a grizzly. You were out on a site jogging up and down the runway one day in the bush. What happened?
I worked at a fishing lodge in western Alaska, and I got up early in the morning and would jog on the runway back and forth. And it's a bush location. The lodge is the only thing there. It's, remote, and there's bears all around. And one was bedded down by the runway. I jogged by it, turned around, came by it again, and
You didn't see it.
I didn't see it. It was bedded down, and I think it probably saw me the first time, and the second time it just kicked off its predatory instinct and it came after me. I could hear it coming up behind me. I could hear it kicking up gravel, and I kind of turned. I could see it. Oh no, so I take a couple steps, increasing my stride, and then I thought, I can't outrun him. There was no trees around me to climb or anything, so I stopped and waved my hands and started talking to him, and he didn't have anything to do with that. He just kind of stared at me, and he started to circle around me. He jumped at me and knocked me down.
You had no gun at this time.
Shorts and a t-shirt.
Just jogging. Okay.
Yeah.
Good bear gear, by the way.
Yeah. If you could run faster. Yeah. So he knocked me down and started chewing on my leg. Got a couple of good chunks out of my leg, and then he grabbed my shoulder and he started shaking me real hard. And I could hear all this stuff coming apart my shoulder, and I thought, man, he's gonna kill me. I thought this was it, and I held my breath, played dead, and within seconds he stopped. When he first jumped at me, one paw hit my thigh, and one hit my back, so it flipped me over. And the one that hit my back, it broke ribs and punctured my lung. They're pretty powerful. I mean, this wasn't a big bear. It was like a 400-pound bear.
That's a big bear when he's on you.
And when they're tearing you up like that, it's big enough.
So, playing dead, he moved off, left you after a little bit.
Yep.
What'd you do then?
I just held my breath as long as I could, because I thought he was standing by the edge of the runway watching me. I didn't know if he'd moved off or what happened, so I just lay there as long as I could, and when I started breathing, I could hear air going out of that lung, out of my back, and I knew I was in bad shape.
What was it like? Was there pain when the initial attack hit you? Did you feel it, or what was it like?
Only when he was chewing on this. When he knocked me down and he chewed on my leg, and it was just happened so quick, I couldn't really feel it. But when he started getting onto this and he was shaking me, that really started to hurt.
So he left, you got up and walked, what, quarter mile or so? How far was it back to the lodge?
Yeah, the runway's like 1,800 feet, so, it was probably about 1,800 to 2,000 feet to get to a cabin to get help.
And you knocked on the door, lady answers the door. What did you tell her again? I love this part.
I said I had a little trouble on the runway.
And at this time, you're full of blood.
I had gravel ground into me, and I probably looked like a horror movie.
That was like the understatement of the year, wasn't it? Yeah. A little trouble on the runway.
Well, I didn't want to upset her, but I think the visual did that.
I don't think you could cover that. So they immediately got you in, put you in the airplane to fly you out, but you said the conditions were almost 0-0.
Yeah.
Which means zero visibility, vertical and horizontal.
Yeah.
So not flying conditions.
Bristol Bay, known for its bad weather. And it was a typical Bristol Bay morning. The owner of the lodge was flying, and he's a good pilot. And up in the air we went, low on fuel.
But he was getting you in. But you lost a lot of blood. You said there was an anesthesiologist there, and she went with you. She was trying to give you an IV, but couldn't get. You lost so much blood, couldn't get into the veins.
Yeah, we had a stat kit, and she was trying to work on me.
So you got pretty serious then.
Yeah.
At one point, you told me, what did she say to you?
She put down all the equipment after, I think, like 15 minutes of working on me, and she just put down all the equipment, and she looked at me and said, "Are you saved?"
That's a little sobering.
Yeah, that's pretty straightforward, when they put down the equipment. And I was pretty stressed up to that point. I thought we were done because I was watching the way that he was flying, and he kept turning around because of the weather and turning around, and he was running right down in the river, trying to follow the river. And when she said that, I thought, it's done. Yeah. I passed out right after she started that conversation.
Okay.
She said, "Are you saved?" And I remembered going to church as a kid, and I said, "Yeah." And she started praying over me, and a couple minutes later, all of a sudden, like, a peace just came over me. All of a sudden, all the stress, worrying about dying and everything, just went away. Yeah, and then
you passed
shortly after that, I passed out.
Yeah, but they did get you in.
Yeah.
Flew you in, and
I
you got some
came
pretty good
to,
scars. We won't show those on video, but you showed us. How you feel about bears now?
I like bears. I don't have a hatred or a vengeance towards them. I think they're really interesting. Actually, when I was healing up, I obviously couldn't go to work. I went through multiple surgeries, and so I'd spend my time going to the library and researching bear attacks and bears and all this stuff. And I think they're really interesting. They're a representative of wilderness. Yeah. When you see them, you're in a wilderness area.
They're nothing to be messed with, right?
You have
they
to
have
respect
their place,
them.
and you have to respect them, don't you?
I don't go fishing without a shotgun.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't go jogging without one either anymore. Well, I gotta say, it's been a pleasure having you in camp.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to getting ready to go flying a little more.
Yep.
I'm ready to go. This is exciting. Let's go do it.